just checking. Let me check if one of my other yesterday's coaching data got submitted in. Okay, good. It is. I thought I lost the data from another session. Okay. See my screen?
Yeah.
All right. Did you watch that Worlds group drawing stuff? Unless you don't pay attention to competitive.
No, I don't really watch competitive.
Okay, that's fine. Terrible, terrible rig draws. It was fun. It was pretty sad. All right, Jinx. Okay. This champion teaches you how to position and not get yourself into dangerous territories. You have a bard support, so you're gonna have to rely more on. It puts you relying more on him. He's a two-dimensional support. No, he's two-dimensional. He can play in front line, although not good, and he can play in back line. Okay, and you have a one-dimensional AD carry, so that makes sense. Better support would be Janna, because nobody can get to the back line. And you're in the back line, and she's in the back line, and then you just like blow people away. You should probably level up your Q like right away too. Unlike other AD carries or other champions in general, she skills up her skill first because she needs it to push the lane to level 2. In which case you substitute either W or E depending on the lane matchup. Okay, there's the level up on Q. Because you don't expect to level up any other ability. So might as well just take it. Like, you don't start W in lane or E in lane. Like you can't come out on top if you start those. So you have to skill up Q. And then of course give your guy a good leash. The best way to get your leash going is to get 3 stacks on your auto, then get 1 extra stack. So basically, like after 3 stacks, it doesn't add. So 3 autos would get you 3 stacks, then attack again. So basically a total of 4 autos, and then you run. 4 autos should give your AD carry or your jungler enough leashing percentage, and then you're okay after that. And then of course you push to level 2. In this lane, okay, you have a Raka Vayne lane. Hit Raka and don't hit Vayne. If you want to hit Vayne, hit her until she has to burn her health pot. But keep in mind that she might not need to use her health pot due to the fact that Raka is gonna keep her sustained. So it's like it's irrelevant because then alright, hit it level 2. The best thing to take is E. Nah. Reason why you take E is because Raka is immobile. Sure, W landing, like sure you can land W, but like that's not really gonna help because she can still move and cast heals. When she's snared, her heal range is like really close to the target. So what you can do is you can abuse this by locking her in place so that it's harder for her to commit to healing her AD carry when she's not close enough. Plus, when you lock her down, you could just start all-inning her. And even if you don't have a level 2 power spike, think about the level 3 power spike, in which case you have all your abilities. Then you can start to pressure the opponent. Now you notice that the support is just getting harassed, but you're not really doing anything in order to trade back with it. Aside from the fact that there's the ward. You have to hit it's hard to hit the Raka without taking a ton of damage in general, so you'll have to play this lane a little bit differently. Plus your Bard is really aggressive, but you should also be aggressive in the sense that you're focusing Raka, because she only has her limitation is that while she may give other people HP, her own HP suffers. So if you keep harassing Raka, eventually Vayne will go down, because she'll only go up as far as her support will. Okay. That's good. Vayne is stunned, but you don't go on Vayne. You go on Raka, because again, it doesn't matter. Like the good thing is that if Vayne is hard CC'd like that, you can go on Raka without Vayne reciprocating damage. Think about it like this: Vayne is 2 champions because Raka is sustaining her. So if you disable one of them, the only person that matters is Raka. Raka doesn't really count as a champion because all she does is heal. She doesn't deal that much damage unless you get hit by her Q, of course. But you want to focus your eyes on Raka. So that's the biggest thing. Only because she's giving so much sustain. Like, her mana doesn't matter because it's so irrelevant, and her HP is all that matters. It's like you have to kill this HP. It's like you're dealing with 2 champions, but one of them is a shield. So break the shield first. If you break Raka's HP down to nothing, she can't heal anymore. Or she'll be forced to play safer in lane, in which case, you can go on Vayne at that time. And she can't heal, she's at 5% HP, so if she dares to like even stay in the lane, just flash auto and she dies. So that's how it works. Every auto attack you perform on Vayne is almost pointless. The only time it isn't pointless is if you okay, so if you hit her, it means that Raka will have to heal, so she drops her HP, so you're indirectly damaging Raka. But doing that too much means that if you just hit Raka instead, she won't waste HP to heal. You know what I mean? Like if you're just hitting Raka, then she won't waste HP to heal. You're hitting both people at the same time, but instead you could just hit one person, then one person at a time. It's hard to explain this. Basically, if you hit Vayne, Raka will give her HP to restore HP, therefore making all the damage you dealt to Vayne worthless. And instead, you could have just hit Raka instead. See? Because Vayne is probably innately tankier than Raka. So if you deal 100 damage to Vayne, you probably could have dealt 120 to Raka. You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Because when Vayne gets it back, she doesn't lose gold. Like she burned a potion, but like that's only because you kept forcing harass, and now you're out of mana, and this is a problem. Yeah, that's the dangerous part about playing in a Raka lane when you're a champion like Jinx or Graves or Ezreal. You have to expend a lot of mana, and because you're expending so much mana, it's harder for you to sustain yourself in the lane for a longer period of time. Now you're forced to play like this. What you can do is, okay, yeah, like this is okay. This makes it harder on you because your support got zoned, but that's because both of you guys weren't on the same page at the same time. Like it's harder for people to focus Raka when she's playing so far back. So instead, you don't have to focus anything at all and just play pure passive in the lane. Make sure you pick up the health relic so they don't deny it. Yeah, just like take it whenever it's available, like if you can. Riven wins, by the way, if you're concerned about top lane. Riven wins the matchup. A good Riven wins a matchup. I know a good Riven, so he lectures me on every single matchup. You win, you just all in the bitch, and it's pretty easy. Alright, no. So, she backed. You have two options, okay. So, you need to catch up and farm, because I'm pretty sure you're behind after you got zoned like that. At this particular stage in the game, since you're not 6, it is okay to push because you deny Vayne the farm. But under normal circumstances, you don't want to push because you want to keep it where it's at because you want to play safe because you're a Jinx. Because if you keep pushing, you're gonna get ganked. You know, it's a Jinx thing. She has no escapes. And if you miss, and since they have a lockdown CC target, aka Maokai, and if Ori walks down and chain CCs you with QW, you're fucked. So the reason this style is different from Vayne because Vayne is mobile, so she can split push and can freeze farm. Plus, she's easy to last hit with. Versus Jinx, who is a great power farmer. She just needs one reset, and then you can just rely on literally right-clicking mechanics to win the team fight. I remember yesterday there was a guy I was watching in Challenger 5, or was it Challenger? Yeah, it was Challenger 5's even game, but they were down 15k gold, and pentakill from Jinx comes back to the game. Quadra kill on Jinx. They're still in the game. So now he just picked up 9 kills in a row, and they're back in the game. Like, just simply with mechanics alone. The reason why they were able to come back was because he power farmed, like, most of the time. They were down 1 inhib. I mean, like, the game was pretty early. It was, like, 26 minutes. They were getting pressured. But a solid pentakill, so purely relying on mechanics alone, just won them just gave them a comeback. They didn't win, of course, because someone got caught in the end, but oh well. It happens. I mean, Challenger 5s are harder. Okay, here's the thing with the Q. You're pushing the lane into her. That means the lane is in her favor. So this means that if they call for a gank, you're vulnerable to it. You have a lot of wards. That's great, but like there are places where you can't always ward. Like you only have so many wards that you can place. If they come through lane and they like flash on you and they silence you and then they flash on you, aka Maokai. If they're really desperate to kill you, they'll get you. You'll have to flash too, but I mean one flash for a flash is like effective because then he just comes again. And yeah, So if you're actually gonna push like this, here's what you can do to deal with it. You need someone to ward this bush right here. Then that means you're guaranteed to be safe from all ganks. And then this happens, yeah. See, I mean, like this was bound to happen. Like I had a feeling like that something was gonna go wrong because it's not safe for you to push as Jinx into a Raka lane at all. Because even if she's under tower, like let's say you were Caitlyn instead, right? You start pressuring the Vayne under tower, and like she just heals back up. So it's like if you were Vayne, would you want the lane to be in your favor? And the answer is yes, because then you can just safely farm and call for a gank. It doesn't have to be Maokai because then that person just comes in and yeah. And this is the benefit of buying a pink ward because you don't have to just ward the river. You can also ward your own lane so that shit like this doesn't happen. It's also partially in fault of Bard, but he probably doesn't have enough money for a Sightstone and switches to Sweeper. And even if he purchased Sweeper would probably be on cooldown because Sweeper doesn't instantly gain a cooldown when you switch a trinket. It's kind of weird the ruling on that, but yeah. So it's hard to tell, but you cannot overextend due to the fact that this lane is supposed to be a paper farm lane. The only way that you were allowed to overextend is if you did the early game by pressuring Raka and only Raka. Because by exerting all your resources on Vayne, you have no resources to expend on Raka, and your eyes become tunneled on Vayne heavily. It's okay to focus the AD carry, but it's not okay to focus an AD carry when a Raka is present. Because then Raka's just going to heal it. So you focus the Raka, so Raka can't heal, then you focus the AD carry because the AD carry is a baby. Like Raka's like the perfect support for babysitting. You just keep healing the dude, like it doesn't even matter. And then the AD carry never bitches, and then she just farms safe. So she has like a free ride to scale to the late game. The only way that this ride could be broken is if somebody coordinates a gank, or you just play the laning phase out until something happens. Like you call for a gank, or your mid laner decides on his own accord to go for a gank. Bard keeps missing his stun, that's fine. You just kind of have to ignore it. If he lands it, he lands it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's really annoying, yeah, but no. Best way to do this is like this is why I play TF, not like against the Arya and stuff like that. Like TF just TPs down against the mains, like sup bitch, and you can stun one of them, then they're locked. That's the best part about being it. Because the reason why Bard is so important in this matchup specifically, because if he locks one person down, you go ham on the other. It used to be in the old days where Raka had a heal, her heal gave armor. You would focus whoever Raka didn't heal. It's the same thing with Morgana support too. Whoever's not black shielded, focus. So if she's healing the AD carry, don't focus the AD carry, focus her. So it's the same logic right now. So it's literally like this lane is the only reason this lane is like getting pressured is because you're not focusing Raka. That's it. Like there's nothing else other than that. Aside from why do you push and why do you not push? The reason why you don't push also is because I mean like Bard is not able to stop every single gank. You know, you have to be. There are certain circumstances in which the stun would happen. Not every single time the stun will happen. Sometimes it's a super slow. And sometimes you get a speed up from your shrine, but not every single time it will be a guaranteed stun. So he can't stop every single gank, so it's okay to not push, you know? Because if you don't push and you just farm in the middle and just keep the lane stable, or you let the lane push towards you in your favor, you can just accumulate a gold lead over the Vayne, even though you're technically feeling behind. You could be like 30 CS up and still feel behind because you're getting pressured by the Raka and Vayne, and that's fine. The whole point of bot lane is to not die. If you get kills, it's cool, but your whole point is to not die, and that's why it's okay to not overextend. So for this matchup specifically, the reason why is because if you didn't focus Raka and she's pressuring you and you feel like you're under pressure, it's okay. Just play it like it's like you're behind. Play like you're behind and just play passive. 720? No, never mind. 420 no scope didn't work. It seems like you don't have the damage. Lul. And then of course Scrying Orb upgraded. Blah blah blah. Home like the typical build that I always advocate for. Oh god. Yeah, this is bad. That's also really interesting. The Bard ult, I mean. Oh god. Alright, so here's the thing. 1, potion, and then 2, you're going for greed. Maokai isn't a devour jungler, so don't steal his jungle. It's also highly improbable that he'll actually do it. Because like Maokai's a champion who like wants to gank. If he's a jungler, he wants to gank. So at best, a good jungler that only needs to do camps. There are 2 camps that you need to do. You do Wraith or Raptors, and occasionally you do Gromp, but it depends on what side you're on, and depends on what lane you want to gank. If you want to gank mid or top, you do Raptors and you just gank because there's wards. If you want to gank bottom, you do Raptors and walk all the way down bottom. Sometimes you do Gromp because you want to tank them, but not really. Gromp is like less. But the camps that you'd want to like the Gromp takes too long for you to kill. So just you in theory you could have let that go. I'm pretty sure you acknowledged that mistake. Like you kind of just overstayed, but you shouldn't blame your team for that because that was on you. Cause
Yeah,
yeah.
when I look back, in the moment I blame my team, but then when I evaluate it later on, I think, why did I blame them then?
Yeah.
That was my bad.
Exactly, cause in the end, like unless you're desperate for, cause like if you look at your own gold, did you actually need that Gromp in order to get IE? No, you had enough gold. You need 1345, and I was like, oh, you have enough gold for that shit. So technically, it's like deflecting the blame. So yeah, I shouldn't do that. And then the other thing is, there are no deep wards in that side of the map. So in general, trudging in that territory was also a problem from the start. Taking blue is fine because that's a good call. But once you take blue, there's nothing else to be gained from staying in the jungle for that long because there's no presence on the map. Like you don't know where they are. So immediately should have left. And if you're gonna leave, you'd have to go through the path you were going through, like this right here, this section, because that's the safest way out. Okay, no. When the TP comes, you should already move. Okay, 360 no scope, you missed. So yes, the flash was a little bit of a panic, but it's still okay. I missed where you placed your chompers. I need to see that again. You did it on Vayne. See, the thing with this is that, okay, it's cool that you did the chompers, but you only got one person out of it. Who is more of a threat? The Vayne that's incoming with you got two team members up here, or the real teleport threat right here who's really fed against your Gnar? Like she's a threat. Place the chompers at a choke here. She'll have to somehow either dash or burn a spell, maybe even flash over them just to get out of there. It forces her to place at an awkward position. And even if she doesn't want to flash or dash over it, she still has to spend an extra amount of time dash dancing in between the fucking chompers in order to avoid, getting stuck in place. Because she has her ult active, she wants to kill. So, placing a chompers like at this direct place right here would prevent her from going forward. And if she's a good Riven, she'd burn 3 spells, Q, 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 to hop over this fucking wall. Which is extremely difficult for someone like Riven to do. But you're making her, waste spells just to get over that choke. That rather than, Vayne, because she's not that much of a threat because you're so far back that she can't get to you, And then you also got like a Gnar coming in. Yeah, there you go, good. I'm not sure about the backup. Like you kind of backed up really far. I know about this, but really. Okay, yeah. So I knew she had flash. So if you place the chompers down there, so she would have had to burn the flash. Really? Q. Yeah, that's a double kill. So easy. I mean, that was like so easy. Yeah, and I like how you praise the person after too. Legit, that is the hardest skill to like get the reverse flow because a good player would sidestep that shit. But hello, all right. Can't believe she landed too. That's broke. All right. Use your jungler. Okay, so if you use your jungler, you can't really coordinate good ganks with him. So this adds more to the fuel of please play safe. Because Jinx doesn't have to play aggressive. I mean, like there's not really, you don't benefit from it unless you have a killer support. Bard isn't a kill support, he's like a mix and mash of like two kinds of supports. He either goes hard or he goes home, So yeah, you don't have to go so hard on the Bard lane. And even if he goes so hard, just ping him back like a few times. It's okay.
Okay.
All right. Like your ping control hasn't really been relevant this much. And don't ping like the yellow ping, like control back. Ping the danger ping, like unbind it and rebind it. The danger ping signifies more. Psychologically, it's not high pitched. High pitched noises are what fucks over people's minds. Like it gets really annoying. So put in you can change your key bindings to like the danger ping. Danger is the same the signal as red. Because it's the same thing with food. Red is like a signal to stop. So danger means stop. So back up. It's a more careful approach. So you could use that little psychological tip to help your teammates out. Plus, it doesn't sound high pitched, so it's really beneficial. I ping danger like 20 times whenever I say back up. The only time you keep the ping is like the alt ping. Alt ping to command them to do something, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah, so the magical journey, and then second, you got caught right there, so. How could have prevented this? Let's go back, let's find out. walking the river, right? You're walking the bard. I wouldn't say don't walk the river. Oh, Jesus. Wait. Is it because you're getting the crab? No, it's not. Wait. Yeah. Oh, he flashed on you. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he flashed on you. I mean, yeah. You knew he was coming, but the thing is he flashed on you, and that gap close is huge, but, like, what you call it? The chompers were okay. I wouldn't say the chompers were bad, because he would have flashed over them anyway. He still has to, but you still have to at least, put into, no, don't upgrade Trinket, you need your boot. What was the thing I was gonna say? Time his flash. Write down his flash timer. It's actually important because then if you guys get into another team fight within the next 5 minutes, he doesn't have flash, so he can't chase or run away. When you're getting a reset and you manage to kill someone, you're chasing a Maokai, you realize he doesn't have flash, then you can just kill him without like, you know, having to like predict where he's gonna go or anything like that. The reason why you get boot is because, like, well, I mean, you're really slow right now, so you gotta catch up, because you're, at this situation, yeah, you're really far behind, you're 4 deaths. So, you can't power farm this lane, not like this, no. You have to look at the way your lane goes, because you kind of just wasted time walking over here. Try looking at top, because that lane looks big, and nobody's answering to it. Top would have been a better option. Also, look at your jungle, so steal. Guy has Devour, but he's not on this side of the map. Take his red, and leave it as his, just take his red, then group mid. If he wants it, then if he wants it, pings you careful. Respect that, because it gives him more stacks. Then just take golems in your set. Vayne's gonna push it back. If she's smart, she'd freeze farm it and wouldn't group, and then it sets you even farther behind. Because when she's farming, you're not farming, and therefore you're forced to do stuff like this and take away junglers from your camp. So what Vayne is doing is the technique that you should be doing when you were Vayne yourself, and screwing 2 people over at the same time. You're screwing a Devourer jungler and the AD carry, forcing them to play the scavenger game and find as many farm as they can and take everything that they got. But that's irrelevant at this particular time. Good. It's like you're freezing right here. It's okay. Because they're not going to be able to find anything here. But here's the problem. You gotta use your scrying orb whenever it's up to get the scout in for a deep ward. Since you upgraded it and you can't change that, I'm going to play off of it. So what you can do is you can use the little ward that it provides to get into deep vision.
What should I have bought instead?
Oh, just a regular boot and a regular pink ward. And then you go inside with your team, you group with them, and then you deep ward together. You yourself provide an extra ward, so therefore you're helping your team out. You save Bard a ward out of his only 3 wards by placing a ward down, so then he can place his ward in another section.
You wanted me to get boots?
Yeah, just like a regular boot, because you had enough for a regular boot and a pink. Oh wait, what the fuck? How did I not see this? How did I not see this? Oh my god, I'm retarded. Oh yeah, no, Sky, no, what the fuck? How am I retarded? When you bought this, how did I skip over it? I guess I actually like skipped over. I'm like, yeah, just buy a boot. I thought you had Infinity Edge, just like where's your tier 2 boots? I never noticed it. Wow, I'm like, my mind must be blank. Okay. Well, okay, yeah, then yeah, just keep your gold for now. Oh, actually, since you're behind, Avarice Blade would be fine, because then the static Shiv is pretty good for a behind Jinx. You switch to Phantom Dancer later. They don't have heavy tanks. I mean, it's okay to get static Shiv, but I mean, it's okay to get Phantom Dancer, but since you're behind, it's okay to get static Shiv too, because it costs less, and since you want to group more, you'd want that power spike as soon as possible. Unless you're confident in your own power farming abilities, then you can get Phantom Dancer. You have your tower up, stay near your tower. Use it, yeah, and good chompers. Make sure you have a try putting a button on your smart cast to have it regular cast too. Like you have a regular cast and then you have a smart cast ability too. Because what you can do is you can just check the range of where check how your chompers are going to be placed.
I have the hold shift button. Like hold shift and then the ability to
drop the chompers, right?
To do the range indicator.
Yeah. So check, because it's better sometimes to not place them vertically and sometimes horizontally. Because right there, horizontally means that they have to play around it differently. Like the same way it worked for Riven, because you placed it like horizontally versus Vayne, so she just has to like try to tumble over or walk to the right side. Whereas if you placed it like vertically versus on Riven, you know, like it kind of fucks her over because it blocks her path. It's kind of like treated like a mini Nivea wall, except it has like 3 little gaps in between it. Lol. But yeah, placing a vertical wall would not be as good because you place it down and Maokai could just be like, okay, well, duh. But then if you place it like horizontally, he'd be like, what the fuck? I ain't going for this. It makes the way he thinks different. Like just placing it vertically means he can still go for you if there were follow up, because he just has to walk around it, and the path that it takes to walk around it is shorter than it would be if it were horizontal, because he'd have to take more steps to walk around a horizontal wall than a vertical wall. Or a vertical chompers. Okay, good. If you're gonna split push like this though, this is where your scrying ward comes in handy. Just place a ward in between the section because they might flank you. That's the only small concern. It's like a small decision that you can make. Yeah, like that. If that were there like the entire time, you'd be safe because then there's nobody that can answer to you. Also, your team could do Baron if someone else goes bot lane. If you're behind, if you feel behind, you can also call for a Baron if they're confident in their own abilities. Riven is stunned. Horizontal chompers. You should probably do a horizontal chompers. Never mind. It's too late. Oh my god. Horizontal chompers. Yeah. It's pretty good chompers. Don't launch your W until you see an opportunity to. Okay. Cause like the thing is I'm good. It's good that you're not doing it, and it's a mistake to do it. The reason why, okay, like not like that, but like the reason why you don't do it is because it stops you from moving forward. Like you're like if you actually cast your chompers there, which you didn't, like in the beginning of the team fight, you did not cast your W, your W. My bad, not chompers sooner, because then you prevent them from going forward. Because their team fight phase only goes one direction. Yours goes one direction too, to force them to go to the other direction. So like think about this. If they go in, they can't go out, right? So let me put in paint. Their style of team fighting relies on single target focus, which is heavily reliant on mostly this champ, this champ and this champ. So what they do is these two go forward, and you have to stop them with the chompers. Like you have to place the chompers here, because then that will not let them go any further. And if they go further, they're stuck, so they can't cast spells. So that's partially on your end to actually prevent them. You can not only prevent a team fight, but you can also counter-initiate a team fight. Because then when they're stuck like this, they don't know what to do. So Riven might force a play by walking around, and who punishes that? This man right here. Or this person right here. Not him, because they're not ready to do it. They're not in the position. Only you can stop them right here. And then, the other thing is, when you cast your W, right? You freeze, because then you're throwing out the W. Like that's the problem when you're chasing somebody down. You freeze, so you stop yourself, and then all they have to do is just really like click more or click down to the right a little bit, and then they're safe from it. And then you get this like distance, because let's say it takes this long say it takes like, I don't know, 1 full second to cast the W, right? That means they get 1 full second of distance gained over you because you cast W, and then if they dodge it, you're set. You just lost a full second of movement, but you didn't do it, so it's good. The reason why it was a problem during the Vayne, because Vayne is very mobile, so she gains like 2 full seconds of distance over you. You could let this go. In theory, you could let it go and just go for the tower. Well, you'd have to go for the minions, and then walk through, and then you gotta pop your pot. No, you don't want to kill him, so yeah. Letting him tank for that. He was trying to let you escape, not tank it for the free damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have still killed it, like regardless of if you just escaped and they came out, and he would just take less damage. Because the only threat that comes out is if, let's say it was a global team comp, so just keep that in mind. Somebody throws a global ult and kaboom, he's dead. Phantom Dancer is fine now since you're fed. Otherwise, Shiv. It doesn't matter. Just think about how you play. But if you feel like the game will drag on longer, go for Phantom Dancer. Or go for Shiv, then sell it for Phantom Dancer later. Because then if the team thinks, the enemy team, also you can play it like a psychological game. If they think you're a threat with static Shiv, imagine how strong you'd be with Phantom Dancer. You get it? Because you suddenly just gain more attack speed and crit. So if you have 6 items with static Shiv, sell your static Shiv for a Phantom Dancer, and you actually gain a power spike. Because then the way they itemize against you is the way you play around the enemy team. If they start building armor, you have to respond with the Last Whisper. If they don't build armor, do you build Last Whisper? Not really. All right.
Yeah.
Go. Alright, don't overextend for a chase. 720? 720? If you think your team has it, well, okay, reposition. Because if you think your team has it, like, also make sure you have, this is small, but have faith in your team. Because you didn't need to launch rocket there. I was just saying that for the lulz, but you don't need to launch rocket there, but you don't have to keep chasing there either. So in theory, I think you could have stopped after you missed your W, because then you'd have to keep walking like hella fucking far. You didn't even get an assist, so you could just switch to a mid lane or bot lane instead, and then push out a lane because you have Baron buff. And by pushing out bot lane, you draw pressure onto bot lane, because it's impossible for any one player to clear out Baron empowered creeps. Well, it's not impossible. It's just really fucking hard. See, look how strong they become. Okay, you keep pushing. Don't push too far. Probably one more wave, then regroup. No, regroup mid. You could regroup top in theory too. Because somebody needs to push out top. Normally, Gnar would push out top because he has Baron powered buff. When you have Baron buff, you always push out all three lanes, and make sure every single lane is pushed out before you siege mid. Because now a good player who's really strong, aka Riven, would have normally just pushed. And since they're not grouping, you should group with them. Or you can, if you're confident that they'll siege alone, you can actually just push it with your minigun. Yeah. Move in between, well, it's really fast, but you can try moving in between autos to get yourself into a better position that goes towards your team, aka downward. You just auto attack, move left, auto attack, move left, auto attack, move left, just to reposition yourself closer to your team, aka your Master Yi. 720? Nice. Good. On the Riven. The wall. Okay, so you'd place it on the gates. The Chompers wasn't very effective. Like, only one person stepped on it. I think if you placed it on the gates, you would have actually been able to pressure them even harder. If you placed it behind the gates, you actually pressure them beyond limits, because then if they have no escape if you place it like right there, you know? Because if you placed it like the way you placed it was, they have a choice. I can just leave, you know? One person gets hit by the choppers, great. The other two, nobody's even gonna dare touch those. But if you place it horizontally, parallel to the gates, they cannot escape. If they cross the gates, you just shoot them in the gates, and then that's like free damage because they can't respond to you because they're in the gates. So you would screw them. You wouldn't just screw them over, but you also help your team too. Damn. Yeah. So that's just a small chopper placement. This is more of like mechanical stuff, but it's not really mechanical stuff at the same time, because you have to know why that choppers was better than the choppers you placed. And the reason it was better is because you prevent people from leaving because you guys are fighting. Because after you guys finish the fight, you guys are gonna siege. And if you want to siege, you gotta kill these people because they're in the way of you sieging. And that's how it works. What? Brunette's Hurricane?
Yeah.
You don't need any more attack speed. Right now it's just damage. I would have burned BT, or I would have just gone defense. Because if you feel like you're prone to dying, go defense. It kind of depends on the person though. They gotta if you feel like Riven and Maokai can actually get on you really quickly, go defense, aka Banshee's Veil or GA. Banshee's Veil to nullify the snare, and GA to nullify the fact that Riven can all in you. Then she has to hover over your body for 2.5 seconds, and then your team just wipes her out in 2.5 seconds, and then you revive and you're like, hey, and then suddenly you have like 700 HP again. Because when GA activates, you force people to do you make them lose DPS. Because they have to make the choice. Do I sit on top of your body? Do I just let it go? And they're probably just gonna sit on top of your body, because it's harder for them to let it go. Because if they let it go, that means that they also still lose DPS on you. If they don't let it go, they'll lose DPS in general. So no matter what happens, they lose DPS. If your body is being revived, they switch targets. All that damage that could be dealt to kill you when you come back to life is gone because they used it on someone else. And if they don't do anything in the 2.5 seconds that you're taking to revive, then you know they lose damage in general because they're not hitting anybody. Somebody should sweep that, seriously. Okay, Runehands is cool, but it's actually kind of like half troll at the same time. Unless you're really desperate for that attack speed. BT would have been more optimal. Or GA or Banshee's Veil, like I said. But you have to be really swift about this. Like, you have the attack speed to do it. Chew. 3, 2, 1. Okay, you can make it out of there. Yep, easy. Regroup with your team, go left. Yep. That is the correct decision. Okay. 720? Okay. Every time. quick scope, no scope. Walk in. And yeah, go up and end the game if you can. I think you can end the game like right here. Don't chompers. Now chompers on top of yourself. Flash. There's the flash. Heal. Heal because Ahri's dying. Or a Bard can get closer. Okay. No need for heal because you just have the damage. Now you heal because she hurts. And you kill. Okay, that W was pretty sick. Soraka, Raka. Now you can go for her. Okay. Good. The heal was kind of like I would have healed earlier only because I don't want my Ahri to die. Because if she's low on health, she might feel like she's not confident enough to continue the action. But the heal to gain move speed is also a thing too. It's fine. Aside from focusing Raka in lane and level 2 power spike against Raka, you have to keep in mind that she only has heal and has no damage at level 1, right? So you can also pressure her early on in the levels too. And it's not just Bard, but you with your Q long range. If she stands near a minion and you hit her, you splash on the minions. But keep in mind that if you hit her, minions will aggro on you, changing the aggro pattern of your minions to you, which is bad because then you lose the trade. So if you hit the minions near her, you can also pressure her at the same time because the splash damage will hurt her and the minions won't change their pattern because you hit her indirectly, but you didn't directly hit her. If you hit her directly, the minions get mad. If you hit her indirectly, the minions just let that go. I don't know why, they're fucking weird. But use that to your advantage. You can also do it on Vayne, but like I said, you don't want to focus Vayne. It's not priority. And if you're gonna coordinate a gank, which you shouldn't need to, especially since it's a Yi, you'd want to see now Vayne's stunned right here. You just go on Raka. See how close she is, by the way? Like she's like really close to you guys too. So you can get so many autos off with just the minigun, then switch to your shark fins and just start blowing her up, and then she has to run far back. She's already burned potions, and keep track of how many potions your opponent has. If she has 4 health potions and she's low on mana, try pressuring her more. That forces her to play in a different conservative pattern. Because if she has only 4 health potions and no mana potions, sure, her health goes down, but that means she will start to lose mana to heal later on too. Because she's a heal bot, yes, but she can only do it as long as she has mana and HP. If she's only healing her HP, she's not healing her mana. Her ancient coin isn't going to provide her that much mana regen. I was wrong about the boots. If you're behind, Average Blade is a nice item. It's pretty standard on most AD carries if they're behind. Reason why is because to make it up, you'd need 400 creeps to literally sell it for 800 gold again. Yeah, lol. But it just forces you to play at a farm-paced style game. Plus, the benefits from Static Shiv have been stated in a video over Phantom Dancer. Basically, Static Shiv has a potential to give up to 4 extra assists during a team fight because of the lightning proc. So if you're behind, it helps you get farther back. It helps you get back into the game. It is an item that can grant you the ability to get back into the game. Whereas Phantom Dancer is single target. The reason why Phantom Dancer is better is because the damage over time that you deal to your opponents is so much faster, especially on speed-based AD carries. So, if since you're both confident on your ability to play AD carry in team fights and out of team fights, Phantom Dancer is superior to you as a player, but you also have to weigh in every single option before then. If you're behind, I think Static Shiv would be ideal if you've chosen Average Blade first. Some people, in fact, are very crazy and just build the Average Blade, then get the Phantom Dancer, because they don't give a damn fuck, because the only reason Average Blade existed for them is because they want the fucking cash. So, if you're really far behind and you're desperate for money, go Average Blade, then go Phantom Dancer, then sell your Average Blade. Easy money. It's actually a possibility, by the way, so you can actually do that. The thing is, you're just gonna fall 800 gold behind. Like, if you ever consider why should I build Average Blade and why should I not build Average Blade, just keep in mind that you fall 800 gold behind. Because you're spending 800 gold on an item, then you're gonna have to resell the item anyway.
Is Ghost Blade worth buying at all?
On any champion, like aside from Vayne and Graves, not really on Jinx, because Jinx gains attack speed based on her resets. I mean, not attack speed, move speed based on her resets. Whole point of Ghost Blade is for, aside from the speed, it's the active. The armor penetration is only useful on some champions. Like, you see Graves' build it. Reason why is because Graves is upfront 100 to 0 burst. But why don't you see Ezreal's build it? Doesn't he, like, he doesn't rely on auto attacks. The reason why is because his is on hit abilities.
So that's why he goes like Triforce and stuff. Corki doesn't build it because he's also half on hit abilities. Champions like Caitlyn don't build it because she's long range, so she doesn't really need to pierce. Plus, she's really strong innately. And then like champions like Jinx, she relies just on solely based on crits, and then crits and speed because she needs as many crits as possible. The reason why Ghostblade less benefits you is because you're gonna sell it anyway for more damage. She's a hyper carry. Like Vayne's don't build it very often either. Graves' do. The only reason why is because Graves is an early game champion. His late game is shit compared to the Jinx's. So you need as much early game possible. Plus, do you think you can snowball off of Ghostblade compared to like you as an AD carry on any AD carry that's not Vayne or Graves? Do you think you can snowball on Jinx with Phantom Dancer and Static Shiv or Ghostblade?
Phantom Dancer.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're shooting them to oblivion, right? And then you just keep shooting and you keep shooting. You get so much speed, and you stack it with your passive, and it just goes down. Or your Q passive, and just goes, and they just die instantly. And you're just like, huh, get wrecked. It's easy. Reason why Graves gets it is because he can snowball. Only if he's fed. Not every single Graves gets it. They sometimes even build standard too. And then let's see what else is there. Aside from focusing, Soraka in lane. Heals, flashes, timing summoner spells. I haven't seen you do that very much at all, like in all the videos so far. And then no pink cords. Is this the same category of the I didn't buy a pink cord this game? You bought the scrying orb and I was like, okay, why'd you buy scrying? Where's the boots? But then I realized you already bought the boots because I'm blind. GG. Alright. Yeah, the pink ward is just a thing. Like it doesn't like you can also place it in lane just to because if you place it in lane, like your opponents will also think, why would you place a pink ward in the lane? Because then they'll think that they'll ask themselves, why would he place a pink ward in the lane? And then they'll come to the conclusion that there might be a counter gank or a lane gank or a counter gank coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why placing a pink ward in the lane is good. And also, when you place a pink ward in the lane, you can just place it at the closest edge to the bush, and it'll reveal the entire bush, therefore revealing the ward inside the bush, therefore you're able to kill it. Otherwise, you can get sweeper, or have someone sweep it. And then if Yi doesn't gank, it's fine. You don't need to fight anyway. I don't think you need to heal there. Okay, I didn't think you healed there either. Because you don't actually need to heal when you are guaranteed dead. When did you buy the freaking boots? Oh, did you buy it at the same time you bought Infinity Edge? I swear to God.
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
I was pretty sure you had enough gold for Infinity Edge, so you don't need the Grom. And then I was like, where are your boots? And then it's like, oh, it's like in the first slot. It's like kind of weird. So I'm more focused on the gameplay itself. And then in this game, you decide to split push versus power farm. Power farming would be good because you have to deny Vayne. You both scale equally well, so if you deny Vayne her farm, it's better. You scale faster than her. You get your items sooner. Therefore, you come out on top during team fights sooner. And it takes longer for Vayne to become a god. And you're just naturally stronger if they don't focus you. So if you manage to avoid Maokai Riven, and this is where your QSS, a really good defensive item, would come in versus Maokai, for instance. Okay, you have 1375. Alright. Get this, and then immediately exit. Actually, the alternative path was wrong. I actually shouldn't have stated this path. You should have left to the left right here, not this way. She just survived it. Like, she just straight up survived it.
The shield from the tower saved it.
The shield from the tower doesn't go on you unless you don't take damage for a certain amount of time, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Either that or she actually just survived it. Or Vayne walked up and healed her. That's also a good you should also think that if there's a possibility that happens. You healed yourself. She didn't heal yet. She flashed, okay. 1841. Did she heal? Did she heal? She's not healing. Oh, the charm though. Okay, she escaped. Hey, there is no boots here, huh? That's what I thought. Alright, where's the boots? Wait a second. Oh, you bought them upon dying in the river, right? No, you died down at bot lane. Wait, whoa. I'm confused right here. This is where you died. Oh, wait, what's going on here? Did I skip over this or some shit? No, I probably didn't skip over it. Maybe it was not relevant. Ah, yeah, it was this thing.
This was the choke fight. The way you could have stopped Riven from completely getting on you. Yeah. See, if you made her burn her flash earlier, she might have been able to get onto you. But the thing is, if she burned her flash earlier, like you know, to get over your chompers, right? You can respond with a flash of your own, and then she can't get to you unless she Q, and then she might miss it because you've already gained so much distance. So that's all because you dropped your chompers. But then since you flashed earlier, then you went back forward, then she decides, hey, here, open, and then she's gonna flash on you. Rip. The chompers right here is really important. Anywhere with like chokes, like here is a good chomper. Here to block all 3 exits. You know, if any kind of team fight happens, you can also zone people out with chompers. You prevent them from doing dragons. So if you were ahead in this game and you were doing the shot calling thing, like I was telling you in the previous game with Vayne, you can stop them from chokes. It's more important for mages to do this, but you as Jinx can also do this, because if a mage zones out one half of the area where they would come through, then you zone out the other half, and therefore 2 halves make a whole, so therefore there's no way they can get to the area without jumping over your chompers or crossing the mage's line somehow. So basically, like, let's say you had your Ori on on your team, right? And then I'm gonna pause Prince. So how you can prevent this is only for a certain situation, but it works each time it'll occur. So you're Jinx, you're blue, okay. So here's a choke and here's the other choke, right? There's like 2 really small chokes right there. The choke in between like the blue buff and mid lane right here, and the choke between blue buff and bot lane, which is right here. The only 2 paths to get into dragon without crossing this path, because this path is this path right here is the crazy path. So if Orianna blocks this path with her ball and stands right here and just starts auto-attacking the dragon, they dare cross this path, Shockwave rips them apart. So if she has her ball here and you have your chompers here, there's no way they can cross it, because all she has to do is move her ball here and rip a Shockwave as soon as they step on your chompers. Now the other thing is that if you block this path and they dare just walk around this path, you move your ball here, and then, you know, she rips a Shockwave here. And if your chompers expire, you just place it here, you know, to block them from walking. It's not going to cover the entire line, of course, but it's going to cover half, so they'll have to walk around half. Then the ball that was standing here just moves down to the other half, and you have a complete section of zoning. This is it best works with her because she's like the queen of zoning. Second works comes with Ahri, because Ahri could just stand here and toss spells constantly. Toss a Q, okay, that's great. Toss a charm, that's great for us. Bard can also help too, because he doesn't deal damage. Because the reason these people don't deal damage, so they don't need to help with the dragon. You need to be at dragon whenever a team calls for dragon, because you're the main source of damage. So if they ever call for dragon and you're near it, try going to it as fast as you can, because it's almost likely you're the only one who can hurt it. Because mid laners that are not AD will not be able to hurt it, and supports aren't going to do shit. So it's just you and the jungler, and the support and mid zone, and the top lane just TPs in for flanks. So that's a tip for you, because Jinx can do that. And in this game, you guys didn't really fight or contest for Dragon or Baron that much, but it's good to get into the habit of doing this. It doesn't work with Vayne because she doesn't have anything to present. You do, however, you know. You can also do it on Graves if you use Smokescreen, or Sivir if you use Boomerang Blade if you're not targeting the Dragon with Boomerang Blade. You can just toss a Boomerang Blade and into a choke, and they'll just have to run over, and it's kind of sad.
Okay.
Let's see. Team fight wise, this was just to be out of position, and then you don't need to flame people for the Gromp. The Gromp was more of greed than anything else. You don't really need to focus the Gromp. Like, the jungle camps are only if you're super heavily starved, and if anything, you just go on your own jungle camps. Here's what. Yeah, you already purchased the thing. God, I'm so bad. You purchased it like right upon death, like right before you died in the middle of the team fight. It's just like, Jesus, how did I actually miss that? Well,
is it right to upgrade the trinket then?
Yeah. No, it's absolutely fine. I mean, you have 400 gold. You would just buy a dagger. Like, hell no, dagger or vision control. Vision control always. Plus, you would have just purchased a pink ward if you were playing the other game. If you would have just purchased a pink ward, so you get 2 vision items. One that's gonna work in about a minute and a half, and one that is actually useful to the entire team. So that is superior than just the dagger itself. The pink ward right there is also even more critical. Or you could buy 2 regular wards. And then you could just place 2 wards in deep wards, go with your team, of course, and then place 2 of them down. And then suddenly you get 2 extra areas of vision for the next 3 minutes, and you control the map. Also, by buying wards, you're in this position you are right now. You're trying to split push, and if you don't see them, you know, it's bad for you. So
2 wards or 1 regular pink ward would definitely help you out here.
Okay.
It's always important to get vision control on AD carry. And then aside from that, your mechanics are always going to follow your game knowledge. So, I mean, like, I can't really... Like, sometimes you might get lazy, but blah. As for builds, Runet's Hurricane was like 2,800. I guess you could just get QSS, Mercurial, or Banshee's Veil, or BT. Because you need some damage, pretty much. It's like standard. It's like you were going to win anyway, but Runet's Hurricane is kind of cool. I think the damage would have been more exponential to you, plus the shield on yourself, or just the defensive aspect of it. Because in high elo games, they don't build Runet's Hurricane on champion like Jinx because it doesn't stack with anything. It's just for the extra speed, in which case you could get a static shift for that.
It's personal preference for me.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's personal
like
preference and you like it and it works, it's okay. I mean, I'm not gonna judge, but it's just like it's better because in like I'm pretty sure you're gonna sell it later eventually or some shit. For more damage or defense. Doesn't even have to be damage, it could just be defense. I don't know if there's not much else to talk about in this specific case.
Okay.
Because it's more about just like the early laning phase. Like the mid to late game was just like really strange decision making that could be improved on. But the early game is just like how to deal with the matchup. And this is a Rocka matchup, which is like she's one of the best in solo queue because like you have to just deal. Not a lot of people know how to deal with her, and even if you focus her, that's not everything too. Because then you have to realize that the AD carry is not taking damage, so the AD carry can return damage. So how do you mitigate in between both? You have to trade effectively. You have to trade when you can feel like the trade is not able to be returned. Like, try trading, you take the cannon minion, then trade with her because she's going to sacrifice a cannon minion. And look at your cannon minion as it's about to die. This is probably a gameplay tip and tricks, but you can sacrifice a bit of your HP to make sure that she loses that cannon minion. Just don't sacrifice too much HP because 40 gold is equivalent. Like, at best, sacrifice 150 HP because 150 HP is worth a potion. And how much is a potion? 35 gold. How much does a cannon minion give? 40 gold. Therefore, 150 HP is equivalent to a potion, which is equivalent to a cannon minion. If you make her miss a cannon minion, the most you can sacrifice is 150 HP, which is equivalent to 2 or maybe 3 autos from the enemy AD carry and the support in the early game. So just do a bit of that's just like process of elimination kind of math. And that's how you can avoid it. So sacrifice 150 HP for every single cannon minion every minute and a half. I think that's how long. Every minute and a half or a minute, however long it takes for the cannon minion to spawn. But if you keep doing it, it starts to add up.
Can I ask, what's the best champion to counter Vayne? Or like punish Vayne?
In the early game, Caitlyn. I mean, it's natural. That's the natural skill lane matchup. The reason why is because every single time she goes for CS, you poke her down. And the best support also, it's not just the AD carry, it's also the support. Nami. Caitlyn Nami is just the most devastating lane or Caitlyn Annie, the most devastating lane for Vayne. Literally, there is nothing a Vayne can do. Even you, with your mechanics on Vayne, cannot do anything in the laning phase. You can force a play, but a good enemy player will punish the mistake, Because, if Vayne locks you down, you're shit on. Huh?
I usually win lane with Caitlyn, but then I usually lose late game.
Yeah, it's because she is really awful in terms of her scaling. Like, God, it's kind of like if you abuse the early game right, you can win. But if you don't abuse the early game right, it's gonna fall off. And even if you win lane, that doesn't mean everything, because there are certain circumstances in which case that everything doesn't fall according to plan. The reason why Caitlyn Nami is so good is because you could just amplify Caitlyn's auto tech, and then you just every single time Vayne tries to go for a CS, you just outrange her and slow her, so you get 3 autos in with empowered powered magic, and it just crushes the Vayne lane. You don't screw the Vayne over in the sense that you kill her, but you deny her massively. And that's what's important. It's not whether you can murder Vayne every single time, but it's whether or not you can deny the Vayne from scaling, because then it takes longer and it forces her to play differently. Have you ever had a game where you felt so far behind that you're forced to play so differently that it kind of it makes it so that your life seems hopeless? Like, I'm pretty sure everyone has those games. Yeah. So you kind of lead by that example, because a good player, what they would do is they analyze how you lose against the matchup and then play that matchup. So if you ever feel like someone shits on you with that specific matchup,
try thinking about it from their side and how you can play it against them. So if you're a good Vayne player, it's not about how you play Vayne on them, but it's about how they play, how you play against their Vayne, as if you were in the Vayne's shoes. You get it? Like, a good Riven player doesn't just play Riven into every single Irelia matchup and, like, you know, somehow win. You have to know on the reverse side, how does Irelia win against Riven? So then that's how you play. A good Riven player analyzes on both ends, and that's how all Riven, and that's how they win every single matchup, because they can play the matchup on both ends. Like when I play Riven, I don't know anything, but when I play against Riven, I know how to deal with her. So it's kind of, it only makes me half good. If I knew it from both sides, it's like, oh, this is why I win. So if I play Renekton into Riven, I would shit on the Riven because I know how to play Renekton, but I don't know how to play Riven. So I would learn how to play Riven and understand why Renekton beats the Riven, and then when I play Renekton again, I'm gonna say, okay, so a good Riven player does this, and this is why. So then the Renekton player capitalizes on this specific part. So it would be like for Vayne, you would there are certain things that Vayne can do. What are these things that Vayne could do against this matchup? Flip the matchup around. There are things that my Caitlyn can do against this Vayne matchup. Caitlyn can do versus Vayne. Why does Caitlyn win against Vayne? Oh, this is why. So next time when you play Vayne, maybe you realize why Caitlyn beats you, and you play around that. So it helps you develop like a whole sense. Because right now you have like a half sense, you know. Because I haven't seen you play any other AD carry other than Vayne, because all you send me is Vayne. I mean, that makes sense, because your name is Pet Me Vayne. Come on. But if you play it on both sides, because right now this is like a perfect example. How do you play Jinx into Vayne? Well, look at Jinx's kit. Look at Vayne. Since you know Vayne, you should know Vayne's kit. So how you have to play around the fact that Vayne, you have to play around how Vayne plays out like a Vayne. So think about it like as if you were playing against yourself. If you were Vayne, what would you do if you were Vayne right there, you know? So that's how you analyze it from a secondary perspective. So it's like, would I tumble now? Then you shoot it, and then yeah, it works. It's hard though. It doesn't apply to like every single thing, because some matchups are just pure unwinnable. Like the Caitlyn versus main matchup was like a sample, but like even like good Vaynes still struggle against that just because it's natural range.
I've learned how to play against Caitlyn as Vayne. Just give up CS to just lose lane and win late.
But here's the thing: you give up CS, yes, but did you survive? Yes, that's the most important thing. You give up CS, but you did not give up gold, because a gold, a kill is worth 15 CS, 20 CS, but also you lose EXP, so you fall behind naturally due to the fact that you got killed. You can get zoned, but you can get zoned, but if you haven't given them gold, it's still okay because you didn't fall behind in EXP. That's pretty good still. Yeah, like I said, horizontal to deny them from entering the gates. You can't place it on top of the gates because RNG will either put it behind the gates or in front of the gates. So just naturally click it behind the gates, and then you put it down, and then it's like really good. And then yeah, naturally you just end the game. Brunettes Hurricane. BT, your choice, doesn't really matter. And then, of course, typical thing, like I said, like last time, make sure you pop your potions during team fights. Like right now is a pretty good one. You pop both, and then you just trigger both. As long as both of them are ticking, it's good. Because you're constantly healing. Like, yeah. Though it doesn't really, event. It just means that they have to commit a little bit more. It can help you survive. It's kind of like dangerous games, like 5%. But yeah. Always have your potions ticking during team fights. And that's pretty much it, I think. Yep.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, alright. Probably see you next time. LOL Veggie Facebook, LOL Veggie Twitter, standard. Shameless plug. And, yeah, catch you later.
See ya.